Ukraine is advancing closer to Soledar on a relatively wide front. 11 kilometers north of Bakhmut, the 30th Brigade clears Russian mines as part of an assault on the villages of Sakko and Vanzetti. A tank attacks Russian positions before the 30th Brigade clears a forested area. Ukrainian infantry arrive in an infantry fighting vehicle to provide fire support. Last week, Ukrainians took control of defensive positions on the railroad north and south of Andriivka. Russian troops' movement and supplies to the remaining positions were stopped by artillery fire. This week, Ukraine advanced east of the railroad to surround the Russian positions still held in the village and on the railroad. Many Russians surrendered and the rest were destroyed. This assault completed the destruction of the Brigade 72. Here is a video of the surviving fighters retreating and coming under fire. The Ukrainian Armed Forces 3rd Assault Brigade launched an early morning attack toward the railroad south of Andriivka. The Russians do not have adequate support for their neighboring positions, and the 3rd Brigade can attack each of them with superior firepower. Ukraine does not have enough night vision equipment, but it has more than Russia, which gives it an advantage at night. A Russian assault group that was attacking Klishchiivka from the north at night was destroyed by pick and cluster munitions. Russian forces have completely pushed Ukraine out of Pripyat. Novodonetsk is still under Ukrainian pressure from 3 sides, and the Russians have been pushed back to the southern outskirts of Novomayorsk. The Russians claim that Ukrainians are on the outskirts of Novomayorsk, while they have retreated to the center of the village. Ukrainian troops are attacking under artillery fire. Ukraine has advanced to eastern Novoprokopivka and is heading northwest again. In addition, the Ukrainian Armed Forces are advancing west of the village of Robotyne. The Ukrainian Defense Forces have struck a secret base of Russian forces in the temporarily occupied Melitopol, Zaporizhzhya region. The security service discovered that the occupiers had organized their headquarters at a local motor plant. The information was passed on to the military, and then they worked with them to target the target. As a result of the missile strike, the commander of the 58th Russian Army, which is fighting in the Zaporizhzhya sector, and their chief of staff were wounded. In addition to them, several dozen other enemy officers were wounded. Approximately 10 of them were eliminated. On September 20th, the Defense Forces also destroyed a Black Sea fleet base near Sevastopol with missiles. The attack resulted in the destruction of enemy manpower and expensive military systems. It was a joint special operation of the Security Service of Ukraine, the Air Force, and the Ukrainian Navy. And on the night of September 21st, the Defense Forces launched a combined attack on the occupiers' military airfield near the city of Sakko in the temporarily occupied Crimea.
Что ты говоришь? Ой.
There were at least 12 Su-24 and Su-30 combat aircraft, as well as Panzer manpads at the airfield. There is also a training base for Mojahir drone operators. It is these drones that the Russians use to coordinate their own air attacks and as combat strike drones. To defeat the enemy, Ukraine used drones to overwhelm Russian air defense and then launched Neptune missiles.